Good morning and welcome to the July 9th Let's Talk. As you're aware, yesterday we had an employee in our healthcare center test positive to COVID-19. You may not be aware, but later in the afternoon we also received a call from a private caregiver company that one of our independent living residents, private caregivers, tested positive to COVID-19 as well. In both cases, those two individuals had not been on campus for well over a week, somewhere close to 11 days, at least in one of those cases. That time frame is a good thing for Westminster Village since we haven't had any symptoms or any other cases, but the reality is we still have risk. So yesterday and part of today, we are testing all the people that had any exposure at all to either of those employees, private caregivers, and the resident of that private caregiver. All of that testing will be done probably by the time this recording plays, and we should have results sometime in the next 36 hours. We also have now received our Abbott testing machine that we can do tests on campus. We'll be testing a couple of those people that had direct contact as well, and we'll be able to get immediate results. At 1 o'clock, we're gonna have a second Let's Talk. At that time, I hope to have more information to share with all of our residents. I can't say this enough. Arizona, if you're watching any news, you notice that Arizona has the highest numbers per capita of any place in the world at this point for tests that are positive. Arizona is having about 2,000 to 3,000 positives a day and ranking about 30%, 20 to 30% positive of all the tests given. Arizona is not a safe place right now with COVID-19. I can't say this enough times as well. Again, just because restaurants are open, stores are open, and you are able to leave the campus doesn't mean it's a good idea to leave the campus. As scary as it is with the positive tests we've had, the handful of them here on campus, it's a lot safer than it is out at Costco or Fry's or any of those other locations in the city. So again, I recommend to you, if you don't need to leave the campus, don't leave the campus. If you need to leave the campus, make sure you're taking good risk. If you're going to visit a family member that's been self-isolating and you're gonna stay for a few days, if you have a doctor's appointment that you have to go to, check with your doctor, find out what precautions they're taking. Westminster Village is taking a lot of precautions. We're putting a lot of effort into making this campus safe. Ultimately, though, comes down to each of us as individuals, what risk we are willing to take and not willing to take. It comes down to us wearing our masks, to social physical distancing, to choosing who is in our small circle. And again, more than ever, that is important. Westminster Village has risk, not as much risk as the outside world, but it has risk. And again, each and every one of us have to take and make good choices, use that physical distancing so that we can continue to be blessed. We have had now a handful of positive cases. We have not had any campus spread. We have not had any residents come down with the virus. And again, it's gonna come down to each and every one of us playing it safe for as long as it takes. Again, not a lot of happy information there, but the reality is we have the ability to keep this at a minimum as we have for the last 120 plus days. I ask you to keep sacrificing, to do your best to stay on this campus, to self-isolate as much as possible, have as many phone calls as you need to, write letters, contact us if there's something we can do. But we have a 30-day time period in front of us that's gonna be really hard. Over the last 10 weeks, we probably had about 10 near misses or employees who have called in to say, I may have had an exposure, I have a symptom. Over the last 10 days, we've probably had 20 more. I think right now we have close to 30 people on our list that can't come on campus because they had contact with a family member or a friend or somebody who has symptoms or has an exposure, or they've had a symptom again, we're taking all the precautions we can. The next step is every one of us taking that responsibility. Again, I'll be back on at 1 o'clock. By then, I should have more information that I can share with each of you. Thank you and stay safe.